Hello, dear guys. I'm an associate professor at the Department of Foreign Languages and Intercultural Communication, and my name is Buevich A.A. So today we are going to speak about English as a global language. What is a global language? As David Crystal said, a language achieves a global status when it develops a special role that is recognized in every country. So there are two main ways in which a language can be made the official language of a country. The first way, when it is used as a medium of communication in such domains as government, the law courts, the media, and the educational system. But to get in these societies, it is essential to master the official language as early in life as possible. Such a language is often called or described as a second language because it is seen as a complement to a person's mother tongue. The second way is when a language can be made a priority in a country's foreign language teaching, even though this language has no official status. It becomes the language which children are most likely to be taught when they arrive at school. Why do we need an international or global language? People using different languages need a lingua franca, so to say, to communicate, to understand each other. A pidgin is an example of such a simplified language that was adopted by several ethnic groups along the West African coast because these people wanted to do trade. Another example is Mandarin Chinese, that has emerged also as a lingua franca among the Chinese because it is the language of the most powerful ethnic group. We make business and we make money, so we need international language to communicate in business communities and in academic communities. They also need lingua franca to converse over the internet and to discuss multinational deals and so on and so forth. Of course, we want to be more mobile physically and electronically. That's why we need an international or global language. We can see another examples. United Nations appeared in 1945, UNESCO, UNICEF in 1946. So around 190 countries take part in these United Nations bodies. So they need an international language for communication. But we have to ask why English has become a global language, not, for example, Chinese or Japanese or Spanish or German or Russian. So the present status of English is primarily the result of two factors. The first factor is the expansion of British colonial power, which peaked towards the end of the 19th century. And the second factor is the emergence of the United States as the leading economic power of the 20th century. A language has traditionally become an international language for one chief reason. This is the power of its people. The power of its people in many aspects. We can take economical, technological, political, or military power. So the combination of industry, trade, war, and learning, all of which use English, has put English in its position as the world's preeminent language. Let's look back at the future. Let's look back at the past, and we can predict the future. So in the 17th century, English was the language of the leading colonial nation, Britain. In the 18th and 19th centuries, English was the language of the leader of the Industrial Revolution in Britain. And in the late 19th century and the early 20th century, English was the language of the leading economic power, the USA. So as a result, English emerged as a first-rank language in industries, which affected all aspects of society: the press, advertising, broadcasting, motion pictures, sound recording, transport, communication, and other spheres. You can see how many people speak English nowadays. About 360 million people speak English as their first language. In South Africa, in Uganda, Wales, United Kingdom, in Kenya, Jamaica, Cameroon, Bahamas, Australia, Dominicana, Guinea, New Zealand, Nigeria. So you can see the list of these countries on your screens. Now you can see the map of people who can have a conversation in English around the European Union. And all in all, we can see that 1.5 billion people speak English in the whole world. So in Israel, in Czech Republic, in Cyprus, Costa Rica, Germany, France, Estonia, Lebanon, Libya, Nepal, Monaco, Qatar, Poland, Peru, Switzerland, Venezuela. In all these countries, people can have a good conversation in English. When you travel abroad, of course, you can communicate in English. When you read books, magazines, newspapers, a lot of books, magazines, and newspapers are written in English, and they are nowadays available in many countries around the world. English also is the most common used language in sciences. Also, movies, music, television, the internet, radio, and diplomacy, all these spheres use English for communication. So, some numbers. 3/4 of the world's mail is in English. 80% of the world's electronically stored information is currently in English. In education, we can say that English is the medium of a great deal of the world's knowledge, especially in science and technology. For example, in 1995, nearly 90% of the 1,500 papers or articles listed in the journal Linguistic Abstracts were in English. English has also become the normal medium of instruction in higher education for many countries. The English language teaching business has become one of the major growth industries around the world. So to know English today is absolutely necessary for every educated person, for every good specialist. Learning a language is not an easy thing. It's a very slow process that takes a lot of time and patience, but it is a must. At present, no other language on earth is better suited to play the role of world language. So English is the language of building global relationships. Thanks a lot for your attention. Stay with us, learn English with us, and you will have success.